everybody, welcome to the show. We are Gen X brothers, two half brothers with a whole lot of shit on our minds, and we're here to dump it into your eardrums. Ew, that sounds gross, I know. But you know what? There's been a lot of stuff going on in the news lately, and we're here to goof around about it. We're also going to be serious about a lot of stuff. We're also going to tell a lot of crazy, cool stories about our childhood. And, living in LA, Hollywood, all the crazy stuff that comes with that. So sit back, hang out with us, kill a few thousand brain cells. You'll grow more back, trust me. But just more importantly, enjoy the show. Rile them up, rile them up, rile them up.
Right on.
Setting the world on fire.
How's it going, Eric? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, it's sunny here. Like, where are you at? You're in Vegas, right?
Yeah, it's like 80 degrees here today. Shit.
Yeah, so I'm in Portland. It's 60 degrees, but, it's been really cold lately. I got this thing, man, gloves. I got a little bit of a rant about gloves.
Okay.
Because you ever notice, like, you always see just one glove on the ground, right? When you're walking around, people just lose one glove. It's like why don't you ever find two gloves on the ground? Like, you know what I mean? It's so bizarre. I even bought a pair of gloves like a couple weeks ago, and I go to use them, and I check my pockets, and guess what? One glove. That's all I got left.
One's escaping.
That's just always baffled me. Like, I'm thinking about starting my own one glove business.
Yeah,
I'm going to start collecting them and clean them up and just sell them on eBay and just just sell one glove. People don't need two gloves. If they're going to keep losing the one, they just have one glove. If they want to buy two from me, I'll give them a pair, but I can't guarantee it'll be a match, right?
Yeah.
that'd be something. That'd be Kramer from Seinfeld. He'd be like,
yeah.
Hey Jerry, I got this one glove business.
That's a Kramer idea right there. What's on the agenda today, man?
Well, so I was asking you the other day if you watched that Pam and Tommy, Pam and Tommy or Tommy and Pam.
Yeah.
Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. It's on Hulu. Pretty cool. I don't know. I like it. The guy that plays Tommy Lee, I don't know if do you remember? Do you recognize him?
Hey, can I tell you something real quick though?
Yeah. What's
can
that?
I let you in on something?
Yeah. What's that?
We got our first crazy.
Oh shit! What's that? What's that? What? Enlighten me.
I was imagining that it was going to take at least 2 or 3 shows before we got a nut job on one of our social media pages, cussing us out and telling us some bullshit. But apparently, I posted a video yesterday on TikTok, and we got us a crazy Karen fucking nut job, man. That was the best.
Yeah. What did she say? Let me look.
I screenshotted all the shit because I didn't want to lose it in case she got us, got us banned or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, from our first show, I posted some snippets on TikTok. So if you want to check us out on TikTok, we're at Gen X Bros. Obviously, it's my opinion that I say, hey, if you don't get vaccinated and you happen to die or go to the hospital because you were irresponsible, then that's your own fucking fault. Tough shit, right?
Yeah.
So I posted that on there, and this lady didn't like it or something. So she posted something. The funny thing is she posted like her opinion, like, oh, that's stupid. But then she starts attacking me, like saying, oh, you must be in jail or you must be in rehab. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, what fucking sense does that make? So all I did was respond and say, I didn't address her concern about her vaccine nuttiness, whatever. Everybody has their opinion. And that's my point, is you can believe in whatever you want. People can say whatever they want. It's your job as a responsible adult to figure it out.
Yeah.
And all I said was, wait a minute, why are you assuming that I have been in jail or that I'm in rehab? What sense does that make? That's all I said. And apparently that pissed her off to no end. Yeah. So she said, because you're a moron and you're stupid. I'm paraphrasing, of course. So I said, okay, I just said something like, well, hey, you know what? Speaking of myself, she basically called me stupid. So I said, hey, you know what? Some say ignorance is bliss. That's the only thing I said, right?
Yeah.
That's all I said. Those were the only 2 comments.
You're being real. You're being honest,
and I don't know if she took it as a personal offense. Like maybe I was calling her ignorant.
Yeah.
Whatever. So she proceeds to leave comment after comment for the next 2 or 3 hours. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now, man. Dude, she's going to town on it. She's going to town on it.
Again, I don't have a problem with it. I did not engage. And the reason I did not engage with her is, one, I don't want my account to get suspended because as we talked about on the last show, is that people tend to bait you. They tend to get you to fight. And then once you start saying something to them, then they're the ones that report you. And I'm pretty sure that's what she was trying to do because she was just relentless in saying all this shit trying to get me to fight her. And it didn't work because
she's got the disease, dude. It's in here.
Okay.
QAnon.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. Code 4666-335150.
So the funny part is, the real funny part is that she says her comments, right? I don't respond because I'm like, oh, fuck it. It's late. I'm already going to bed. I don't give a shit about this dumb bitch. She's leaving the comments. So I check it after an hour or so just to see. But I guess it annoyed her that I didn't respond anything after that. Her thing is, she's saying, if you think somebody should die, you're a disgusting person. She says, if you think somebody should die because they don't take an experimental drug, you're disgusting, right?
Yeah.
Then she proceeds to leave a comment that says, I am coming for you. You messed with the wrong person. I'm going to take you out.
Damn.
So isn't she just as disgusting wanting to kill me?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, her comment is actually grounds for threat. That's considered a threat. And she should be she's the one that should get. If this was Facebook, I would have been in jail for saying what you said, and she would have gotten away with it.
Exactly. That's why I didn't say anything else. That's exact. Now, listen, Eric, you know me, that if I really wanted to, I could have tore this bitch to shreds, and I could have made her feel as small as a fucking ant. But, again,
let her up.
I don't, I feel sorry for her because obviously maybe she's drunk. I don't know what's going on. I don't care. It's her life. It's her opinion, and I appreciate that. And I don't really care.
Yeah, she texting like she's drunk, and she's definitely a TikTok Karen.
Well, here's the other funny part, right? So she proceeds to say she's coming for me. So then she leaves comments one at a time, like each line. I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
But because she doesn't know how to reply in the message, when she left the coming part, she put it underneath another message. So it got hidden. So when you look at the page, it actually just says, I'm for you.
Cool. Let's put it on the shirt.
So I was like, no, it seems like you're for me. Stupid ass.
That's going to be our shirt. That's going to be our shirt. Gen X Brothers. And then on the back, I'm for you. We'll have a picture of her.
And another fun fact, if you want to keep piling on.
Yeah.
Another thing she said was, I'm going to share.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is going to know who you are.
That's
First
the point,
of all,
lady.
I'm fucking saying this on a public forum. I want to be known. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah,
we're not doing this just for fucking fun, like we're in our basement or something.
What if you want a commission?
So that's why I was waiting. Hey, where's my free advertising,
Yeah.
But what she doesn't realize is I can see when somebody shares our video because we get analytics on our TikTok. So I know when people share the video.
Yeah.
She didn't share it once. Not with anybody. No shares whatsoever. So,
and it's not like you said you want people to die if they don't get the vaccine. You said that, hey, if you die from not getting it, then that's not my fault.
Yeah, I mean, it's just basically you can say
you want them to die.
Well, I'm saying she can have the freedom to say whatever she wants. She can believe whatever she wants, but just don't come crying to us or other people when you all of a sudden get sick.
And I don't know if it was her, but I saw somebody say, "Oh, you can't put experimental drug." This ain't an experimental drug. It's a vaccine.
I think it's far past experimental at this point.
These people are shoving Big Macs in their face every day, and they can't put a vaccine in their fucking to save their life. They'll go to McDonald's and fucking shove whatever chemicals they put in their food.
Fuck, man. Everything we got is an experiment. Makeup.
Yeah.
All the makeup they have was an experiment at some point. Stupid asses.
The whiskey she's drinking while she's texting all that is probably experimental.
Yeah, you think it didn't take 100 years to figure out how to distill that shit properly without getting dysentery or something,
That's because Dr. Fauci didn't distill it.
And the phone she's using to complain is an experiment.
Yeah, it's obviously tracking her, and it's like,
it could be giving her cancer, you don't know.
Yeah.
Shit.
I just tell people now, like, there's no reasoning for those people that are really deep in that rabbit hole, and they'll just take you down a rabbit hole after rabbit hole because it's like, and you'll tell them to give you some kind of proof or whatever, and what they'll do is they'll post some link to some dude in his basement that just created his own website with his own facts. And we're living in a day and age where like the sky is blue, but now it's not the fact that it's blue, it's an opinion, because someone will say, well, no, the sky is only blue until you get out in outer space, and that's just and there's a reason for it. It's just always there's just gotta be a debate about everything.
Well, I've had this argument before with some friends of ours, and it's baffling to me when they say, oh, I don't trust the media. I don't trust CNN. And I respect that. If you don't want to trust CNN, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I don't really believe half the shit they say either. I can recognize the difference between bullshit and, and it's sensationalism.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
But don't tell me you're not going to believe them. Millions of journalists working together when you're going to believe some dude in his fucking basement that is just reading something online that doesn't know anything. If you're not going to believe in anything, any institution, then don't believe in any institution.
Yeah,
don't believe it.
Yeah.
And when you say do your own research, it's not like picking your fucking favorite toaster oven. It's not like figuring out, well, what toaster oven should I get? Should I get the one that has dual heating action? Yeah. Well, that's something you research, right? That's something you can research on your own. Which one, black or red? What color do I want? But when it comes to something out of your grasp of knowledge, you have no way of researching it.
And I like us 2 years later and they still want to do research on the vaccine. It's like, well, it's like, what, do you got your own team of scientists somewhere like we don't know about?
If it was up to them, that shit would never come out, man.
Yeah,
where's that new vaccine at? I'm still doing my research. I'm still working on it. Sorry.
And then poor Donald Trump, man, we got to feel bad for the guy. He had his following, then he admits to being, then he admits that the vaccines are good and that they're good for you and that people are dying if they're not vaccinated. And now everyone hates them. And even his own followers are dropping off. And
they don't hate him. They're just...
Yeah, his biggest fan, Candace Owens, he made her feel like stupid when she did that interview with him. And
oh, really? I didn't see that. What happened?
She was just giving an interview with him. She'd probably think, oh, this is my big moment with Donald Trump. And then he goes and talks about how the vaccine is great and that you should be vaccinated and that if you're dying, that those are the ones that are dying from it. And she's trying to contest him on it and she's losing the battle. Funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, Donald Trump wants to take credit for something that is now successful. Yeah, because if it was a big flop, let's say people died from the vaccine or something bad happened, then he would have been able to say, see, I told you it was bad. But yeah, so I mean, obviously this lady has some mental problems. And I was surprised there were a few people that actually came to our defense that made fun of her. And I looked at their profiles just because I was curious. And they were pretty much the same. If you want to be, if you want to stereotype somebody, they were on the same page as her with the right-wing crap that they were spitting. So it was weird that they actually defended us. Yeah. Again, most people probably look at both of us and assume we're just some part of some fucking Hell's Angel biker gang or something. And, they don't know who we really are.
Yeah, right.
So they're just going to be, they're cool biker dudes or something. They must be cool, But we're liberal as fuck,
It brings me to your beard, man. How the hell did you get your beard so damn long? Like I just saw you like a year ago.
Yeah.
And then your hair. Didn't you just shave your hair like last year? You shaved it bald.
No, it had to be. No, that was like 4 years ago because I thought I was going bald and I was like, fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna shave it. And then it turned out I didn't know what to do with my hair because I've had my hair like this since I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't know what haircut to do. I didn't know how to feather my hair or whatever the fuck you do. So I was like, if it grows out, it grows out. If it falls out, it's meant to be. So, it grew back. So I guess I can be grateful. That's our Indian blood or something from our mom.
Had the same shit since 1984.
Oh, it's never gotten any longer, huh?
Yeah, that's about the longest it's going to get. Oh, another point about the glove. Same with OJ. Didn't they only just find one glove? Like, it's like crazy, man.
It can happen to all of us, even the worst of people.
Yeah, and it didn't even fit.
If you would have had your store up and running, he would have been able to buy one of your extra gloves, and they never would have figured it out. He would have said, "I got a pair, bitch."
Yeah, see, I think Michael Jackson was onto something, man. They're all focused on him messing with little kids, but they should have been focused on that one glove.
Yeah, there's something wrong with you. You only got one glove. Where's the other fucking glove?
The one glove mystery. I'm going to solve it one of these days.
Yeah, we don't want to dwell too much on that. Crazy people, but it's so easy to do though.
QAnon quack. QAnon quack. Quack, quack.
But at the same time, like as many people are trying to say, we got to bridge the gap, but it's hard to bridge the gap with somebody when they're so fucking mean, I didn't say anything to this lady to set her off. I was trying to be, I don't know, somewhat nice. And I was just wondering why she was attacking me personally over a comment. I have the right to say whatever I want. She has the right to say whatever she wants. I'm not going to attack her.
Yeah.
And then she just proceeded to attack me. Like, I don't understand when she said, I'm coming for you. You mess. Like, what did I do?
Yeah.
To make you think what did I do?
I think you're just so insecure with their intelligence that they just feel like they just have to attack. In other words, you could be totally cordial with them, but just because you disagree, they have to just go straight for the jugular.
Yeah, I think too, there's a weird thing. Again, it comes back to technology, like we talked about on the last episode.
Yeah.
I think they don't understand technology. So when they see something like one of our videos, they assume we're talking to them personally. We're not. We're talking to ourselves and we're making a generalized statement about the things we notice and the things we interpret. That's our interpretation of the world around us. You make your own interpretation, but it's not a personal attack on you.
Exactly. And it doesn't change anything. You're going to either get the vaccine or you're not. Our opinion shouldn't sway you either way, whether you're going to get the vaccine or not. Just like when someone tells me like, oh, you think this band sucks, that's bad. Like you should, they're actually great. I say, well, just because I think they suck doesn't mean they suck. It's just because it's not going to change what they do and what they sound like. You got to like what you like. And
it's your own thing. Everybody's got to enjoy their own thing. But again, we can do that without attacking each other. I will attack a general audience, or if somebody comes after me, or I guess I'm a dick too. I fucking attack people just for fun or fucking around. I would never do it to somebody's face. Like, even if we were talking and made fun of somebody, if I was standing right next to them, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make fun of somebody. I wouldn't put them down or write something mean about somebody because it's just uncalled for,
But sometimes you got to goof on them a little bit. They set themselves up for that.
Well, goofing on somebody is different, but
TikTok Karen, man, we're going to goof on TikTok Karen.
But I'm just saying I would never go out of my way to purposely, like they do. They just purposely go to attack mode. And
Like me, like when I'm in a debate with one of those people, I just to say my face and then they attack me. But I just, I might take them back. But I'm never the first one to go after them first. It's just so weird.
But like I said, I think it could be a ploy too to bait us at the same time.
Yeah.
I think that's the only logical conclusion I could come up with is that they're trying to bait us so that way we say something stupid and they'll go, see, I got you. I'm going to go run and tell the TikTok police you're in trouble. And
they do that gaslighting thing where they make it sound like you're the crazy one and you're the one, this is like, or you're the one that's lying and you're the, it's just like crazy, man.
So if you guys out there, if you're listening and you want to check out the crazy stuff that she said, go on our TikTok. It's also great too with the TikTok. If you're too lazy to actually listen to our full show, you get kind of like little pieces of it, the good parts.
Yeah, catch little clips and just don't try to ban us because we'll ban you back. I'm back to Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson, the TV show
because I got
I'm wondering, like, I'm curious if Tommy Lee and Pam are even behind it because they're making him out to look like a total dick,
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, Tommy comes across as a huge dickhead. I have a clip. Let me play this clip and then we can kind of discuss it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's hear. This is from the first part of the show. It's really no spoilers. I mean, we kind of know exactly what's going on in the show. It's about a guy who finds the sex tape.
Yeah, and I think they're embellishing a lot of it. So
yeah, I would imagine. But
Tommy!
What's up? What happened?
Grant.
there's a lot of struggling.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro.
No. Look,
Fucking perving on my
I
wife?
was not. Please.
Someone creeping.
I swear I wasn't. I was not.
You called my wife a liar?
No.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Listen, I was looking for you. I was
What
just
you looking for me for? Huh?
For the money. The money. We were very clear that before we do any more work, we have to be reimbursed.
Fucking shoddy ass work.
So the premise is that this guy they're working construction for his new house to make this love palace.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen. It took me a while to figure out that's who it was because he looked so different. He
totally
looked
different,
good.
yeah.
He looked, total mullet and stuff.
Yeah.
So the premise is that they rip these guys off. Tommy Lee is a total dick to them, which is hard for me to believe that he was actually like, I don't know, because, we've seen a lot of interviews from him.
Yeah.
And he is a bit high strung.
And he is known for, I think didn't he get some DV cases against him a few times, domestic violence.
I'm not saying he hasn't.
Yeah.
It just seems weird to be like when you come from nothing.
Yeah.
And then when you have money and some guy needs to do a construction job, like why would you be a dick? Like give him the money, you know? It doesn't.
That's why I think most of the show is like fictional. And I think what they did was they took up the premise of what really happened and they just like made like an actual, just a regular story out of it, maybe on their own. And I think that's why Tommy Lee and Pamela isn't behind it, because I went on his Instagram, because typically if they're in part of some kind of show like that, those guys are always sharing hey, check out our show and but he's not sharing nothing about it. So, and I was trying to find some interviews with him to see if maybe he talks about it, or maybe because it's got to be it must be unauthorized. But if it is, then what's keeping him from like trying to get it shut down? Or
well, I think it's based on a book that somebody had wrote about maybe it's from that original guy that I kind of caught a little bit of the credits that said based on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I don't know if it's that guy, the guy that released the tape. Maybe he wrote about it, which is why it would be from his perspective. And, you know, of course,
exaggerated. Yeah.
Because they actually make Pam Anderson come across as being really elegant and sweet.
Yeah.
You know, she was very innocent, and it just seemed like Tommy's like fucking Godzilla and just a dick to everybody, you know? And I was like, man, it doesn't seem right, but I'm on the fence.
The guy does a good job though. Like he's the guy that plays a Winter Soldier in the Captain America movies and Avengers, and
he just really comes off as an arrogant dick. So I don't like that Tommy version. Like even when he's like practicing, he's like, "Yeah, fuck you," you know.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, it's just like, oh. So basically, the guy has to steal a safe out of his house to get paid, and in that safe is the tape, the infamous tape, and they take it around.
They got the guy from The Office, right? That guy, the long-haired, the porn director guy. Wasn't he in The Office or something?
No, he was in Parks and Recreation, I think.
Yeah, one of those episodes.
The show is really good. I mean, I liked the gritty part more than the love story between him and Pam. I'm like, oh, you know, I was almost ready to fast forward. I was like,
well, I feel like they're going for a Sid and Nancy type of vibe, but you know, but not Sid and Nancy, but as if, you know, like just the way they are with each other, like they're so inseparable and crazy in love, and like how Sid and Nancy was, but without all the heroin and all this stuff.
And they're on what, like the 4th episode or something?
Yeah,
right now?
I believe so. So it comes down every, I want to say Tuesday night.
So one thing I have to commend them on, tremendously commend the production.
Yeah, the production.
Except for one small thing, and that is the dick scene.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was.
So when he's talking to his dick, well, for one, that they show his dick throughout most of the footage, which you don't see in regular TV. I mean, that's a big mark. You see women's bodies all the time, left and right. But the fact that they made his talk to him, they showed close-ups of it, that was very uncomfortable. The only issue I have with it is the dick seemed too smooth. Did it not? It seemed a little fake because it was too, it looked too.
But look, it was obviously, well, CGI, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, but they could have gritted it up a little bit. You know, they could have added some veins.
Yeah, like when they showed it like just by itself, like, yeah, you could tell it was some prosthetics definitely going on there.
They made it a little too smooth. That's my only. But for them to actually take that chance and to do it.
I can't remember, was he circumcised or not?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, it's a bold move because nobody's ever done that. Concentrated on the dick of one of the main characters, and obviously Tommy Lee is known for his dick. So you know, so you got to give him credit for that. I mean, that's pretty remarkable that he's talking to his dick and the dick talks back to him and tells him not to marry her. And
I have a feeling we're going to see that more in the show too.
Yeah, or other people are going to try to do it as well too.
Yeah, it's definitely groundbreaking. The talking dick is groundbreaking.
Yeah,
cinema.
it is. I mean,
I haven't seen it anywhere.
I'm surprised nobody's complaining yet and saying, "Oh, why is this shit on Hulu?"
Well, I'm thinking like TV's starting to get a little bit. You know, like even on CNN, like some of the anchors are saying the word shit now. Like, you know, what's his name?
Yeah, they've all been saying it since Trump's been
shit, and might have even heard the F word.
Yeah, they did. They have. I mean, they use it as an excuse because they repeat whatever like Republican dipshit said it or whatever.
And they'll warn you, say there's going to be graphic language. And,
If a kid is not supposed to hear dirty language, he shouldn't be watching TV in the first place. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
And you know damn well their parents cuss 10 times.
Yeah,
as much as anyone else
and everything else.
Yeah. So come on, give me a break, man. Language should be, like I said, I believe people should be able to say what they want. I've always cussed. I cussed in front of my kids. They know better not to cuss in front of me. They probably cuss in front of their friends, but they show enough respect not to do it in front of me.
Yeah, I cuss in front of my cat. You know, she's.
Yeah, man, I heard your cat. She goes off. Fucking.
Yep.
Crazy cat.
Every 5 minutes, man. She's got this new thing where she bangs on the walls every morning, like boom, boom,
Really? How
Yeah,
weird.
like 5:30 in the morning. Just to wake me up, I guess.
Like just a random wall to wake you up, or just a random wall to like hurt her?
Yeah, so I guess to wake me up, and I'll even yell at Tamara, and then I'll yell at her, and kind of chase her around the apartment. And she does it, she still does it.
Yeah. So what's our opinion of Tommy, Pam and Tommy? We're giving it a thumbs up or whatever. What the fuck?
I'm giving it four dicks up, five dicks up.
5 dicks. Yeah, they even showed it hard at one part, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I want to know what that guy's real dick looks like now at this point. I just want to see.
Yeah, never got to see what his real. I can't remember his name, but he's the guy who plays Bucky in Captain America.
You have to imagine that it's probably ruined his relationship life.
Yeah.
Because now every time he goes on a date, a chick is going to expect to see that dick.
Yep, they're going to be expected.
Yeah, they're going to be like, oh, let's go, baby. And then he's like, okay, here it is.
Yeah.
3 inches.
But even his mannerisms are so much like Tommy Lee, even though he's more of a dick than Tommy Lee, but his mannerisms, he must have really studied.
Well, I mean, he's a good actor, but it's just the script, I mean, I'm sure they told him, you can only do what they tell you to do. But maybe he did because it was in 95, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, it was in the 90s. I was thinking they were already together for a long time with kids when that thing came out. But I guess it must have happened when they first got together and they didn't have any kids at the time. Because they were together for a long, because they have a couple kids together.
And they'll probably get to that later on. But it's like in 1995, it was already kind of, Motley Crue was already broken up at that point. Right, because he was in some of those like hip hop bands or some shit like that.
Well, he was doing the solo stuff. It was kind of more hip hop, but I mean they were together, but they were just going through
on hiatus or.
Yeah, I don't know. Vince Neil had to leave the band, or they kicked him out and got John Corabi around that time.
A lot of people don't know that in 1995, you and I were playing in a rock band, an underground band called Will-O-Wisp. And so we can relate to the Tommy Lee story the best because we kind of lived that lifestyle in Hollywood as much as we could on a food stamp budget.
Now, when did you come into Hollywood? Because we were there in 90. Me and Tony were there. And
92 is when
when you arrived, right?
Yeah, 1992.
And now, was the strip still happening at that time? I remember it's closed down not too long after we got there, but wasn't it? Because there was Nirvana. When Nirvana hit was what, 92?
Yeah, I remember the strip was still good. Like I moved there the weekend I graduated high school. I got in my car, put everything in there and went straight to Hollywood to move in with you guys. I think it was like 2 weeks into it. There was a shooting on the Sunset Strip. Like somebody got shot and killed, like right on the strip. Because I remember I was there where I didn't actually see it, but I was there like probably like a block away when it happened. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden the cops were surrounding, and then you heard that somebody had got shot on the strip, which was a big deal back then. It didn't really happen right in front of everybody. The next week, all the sheriffs and deputies and all that shit, they stood on the Sunset Strip and did not let you stop to talk. Because before, the whole street, the whole Sunset Strip, from the Whiskey A Go-Go all the way down to that liquor store, I forgot where, into Beverly Hills, was just a giant party. Like you would just stop, you would talk to people, and you would just hang out till like 2 or 3 in the morning. And then you would go to another party up in the Hollywood Hills or some shit like that, where once after you couldn't buy alcohol anymore. After 2 a.m.
Errol Flynn's, we always
up in the caves and
the band, the Glamour Punks. Every time we'd say Glamour Punks was like party at Errol Flynn's, and everyone would just follow them there and swarm there. And
but it's like the police, after that shooting, they told everybody to move, so everybody got frustrated, and then that's when it pretty much died after that, because they were like, well, if we can't hang out there, then we're just going to go and leave.
Yeah, people blame Nirvana, but it was really pretty much the police. And
it was in that instance.
I think it was a combination of both, really, because Nirvana really did change the scene musically
as far as the music goes. But people still wanted to go to the clubs and hang out. I mean, even after that, when you couldn't go, we still went to. We would play a show. There'd be thousands of people there on the strip at our shows. I would go to after parties all night long, and So in this crazy times of the Me Too movement, I've noticed that that whole rock star lifestyle, it kind of had me thinking that the Me Too movement hasn't really hit, other than R. Kelly. Yeah. It hasn't really hit the rock star people. I mean, we did some crazy shit back in the day. I know you did more crazy shit than I did.
It was just a thing. I mean, you go to the strip and girls will just come on to you and you don't really know their age. I mean, you kind of assume they're in 18, 19, whatever. They're rich girls from Beverly Hills. And There was a time where I was with a girl and making out with her and doing this, and then her friend tells me, she's only 14. I'm like, oh. And then this girl wanted to have a relationship with me, and so I had to lose my number. I had to have her lose my number because I wasn't about to go to jail for that, you know.
Well, I remember this one time there was this girl, right, that she liked you, and again, all we cared about. We weren't the type of people that were all sex crazed, really. We were the dumbest rock stars on the strip because we always had long-term girlfriends. I mean, we did screw around a little bit here and there when we were single. Yeah. But ultimately, we always ended up with a long-term girlfriend. People expected us to go out and party and fucking, and be these womanizers like Motley Crue and shit. And we were just like, dude, we just want to stay home and fucking write music or watch TV. We don't give a shit about that stuff.
Now, before you got there, I was actually that guy that was single and I pretty much tore up the whole Sunset Strip. It was me and that guy, Allie, and I remember just every night we were with different girls, and I'd end up in Ventura County, waking up hungover, and the girl next to me, and then we'd be in San Bernardino the next couple of days later, and I just wasn't using protection until I finally met Christine, and she became my ex-wife.
But the funniest one was, okay, we met this girl, or you knew this girl, right? And her and her friend were hanging out with us at the coffee shop. Yeah. And she liked you, but again, you found out she was like 15 or something like this. Yeah. Obviously nobody wants to get arrested. So you were like trying to be respectful and stuff. But these girls, they want to hang out with you, and we want them to go to our show. That's all we care about. We're like, come to our show, watch our music, buy our merch. That's what we're after. So she's there. And then all of a sudden she gets a call from her dad, pissed off at her that she's got to go home. And we thought this was just some regular girl, right? So she tells us to drive her and her friend home. And we end up at the top of the fucking Hollywood Hills.
Yeah, Bel Air, I believe.
Yeah, this girl has her own fucking street named after her dad. Her dad's some famous psychiatrist. We get into, the gate buzzes us in, right? It's like this huge gate, and we're in there, and all of a sudden the dad comes out with a fucking baseball bat. My daughter's only 15. We're like, dude, we're just driving her home, man. And he's like banging on my car. And then the gate is shutting. So I'm like, fuck, how are we going to get out of here? And we just fucking take off, and the girl's crying, and and we just fucking took off, man, and we're all like lost up in the top of the Hollywood Hills, and it was
the Romeo and Juliet of Hollywood, the fairy tales of Hollywood.
Those are good times, man.
That's how fairy tales go down in Hollywood.
Yeah, we got a ton of stories living in Hollywood, man.
Oh yeah.
So just let me say this real quick. When we used to play shows, right, we did the thing on stage where Tony would smash a garbage can and he would fucking beat the shit out of it. And it was like a cool effect that we had. We did all kinds of weird stuff on stage.
I danced with a squid or an octopus. I shaved my chest on stage.
But the problem is that we were very poor. Yeah. We could not afford a real, we didn't buy the garbage can. We didn't know how to obtain, we didn't even know that they sold them at the store for like $15. We didn't know that, right? We're so fucking
if we did,
stupid.
We wouldn't be able to afford it.
Yeah, either way, I mean, even if we did, $15 doesn't seem like that much. It was a lot back in the 90s.
That's 2 40-ouncer. That's 5 40-ouncers.
So what we would do as a band, me, you, and Tony, our drummer, we would get into my car and we would drive around Hollywood looking for garbage cans. And Friday, it was the day before the show, we would just be searching.
Yep, Laura Canyon.
We would see, and Tony would lean out the window, grab the garbage can. It would be full of garbage. He'd fucking dump it out everywhere. And then somebody would hear us and come running out after us saying, what the fuck are you doing? And I'd be taken off, and he'd pull the garbage can in, still full of garbage, mind you. Yep. And garbage would be all full in the back of my car, all on top of Tony. And it would just be a huge mess. Yep. And we had to go through that every time we played a show, almost every week, right? Because we always played on the weekends.
Pretty much every weekend, yeah. We were the garbage can bandits of Hollywood.
Yeah, until about 2 or 3 years later when we were doing better, we were making money.
Yeah.
And then we realized, we're like, we could just go buy a garbage can. Why are we fucking risking?
And if we get famous enough, we can get an endorsement from a garbage can company.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
But fuck guitar endorsements. We got a garbage can endorsement.
But I think we had done it so much that they actually hired a task force to stop it. Because remember, we went to Melrose neighborhood and we were trying to steal it the one night. Yeah. Every corner, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning is when we would go. And every corner we turned, there would be a car following us. So we're like, what the fuck's going on, man? Because, you got to wait and we couldn't steal one. I think we didn't even do the garbage can at that show because we couldn't find one. Yeah. I don't know what I can't remember what we did, but
they're probably like, yeah, the regular burglars, we're gonna have to put them on hold for a bit. We need to catch these freaking garbage can guys.
It's costing us hundreds.
Yeah, what about the burglars that come in with knives and guns? Oh, who cares? We need to catch these
fucking garbage thief.
We need to protect our garbage.
Instead of the ham burglar, we're the fucking garbage burglars, man.
The garbage burglars. Oh yeah, man.
Oh man. That was good times. But it's just funny how stupid we were. I could see Tommy Lee in his position, same thing as we were. You're kind of, all of a sudden you become rich and you don't know any better. So you can kind of see why he would be a dick, because you kind of just don't understand things when you're 19, 20 and up. You don't understand how the world works, really. So you kind of turn into a dick.
Money changes you no matter what. If you say it'll never change you don't know until you get there.
The point is, go watch Pam and Tommy. It's a great show.
On Hulu. And if you have to get the Hulu and you don't got Hulu, you can get a 7-day free trial. Just watch it all and binge it and then cancel.
And then when you sign up, make sure you mention Gen X Brothers as your reference. So that way they'll go, who the fuck is this?
Who the fuck is that? We got to send money to those guys now?
Yeah. These aren't no sponsors of ours.
Yeah. And it's really cheap now. I think Hulu's like only, $7 a month now, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
They lowered the price. I think you get more content than Netflix.
Yeah, I don't like Netflix anymore. I do like a few shows like Ozark and shit like that.
Yeah, Ozark was good this season. We'll have to talk about that on the next show.
So what's going on here? We got fucking Joe Rogan again in the news. We were just talking about him in the last episode.
He's in trouble again with the N word.
Yeah. Man, I mean, obviously they're old clips, right? And I'm not saying it's excused. It's, but it's just weird how nobody knew about it. And now you're bringing it up now.
Yeah. Which tells me like there must be his core audience, because obviously he's the top podcaster in the world.
Yeah.
So for that many years, nobody said nothing. So that must say something about his audience, is like how much of his audience listen and actually support that kind of language or talk.
I would have to say, to be fair, again, there's no reason to say it, but a lot of times it is taken out of context. If you're repeating what somebody else said, I'm not saying it's right to say it. There was a point where people said it on a regular basis, just not more than 5 years ago. Before the whole George Floyd thing, it seemed that people kind of said it in context.
Yeah.
It was kind of on the fence of, oh, am I allowed to say it? Am I not allowed to say it?
Well, like Louis C.K. said, like in that one joke where he's like, well, if you say the N-word, you're going to make me think about the word. I'm still going to be thinking of the word. So,
yeah. Either way, you're saying it one way or the other.
Yeah. So, you said the N-word. Now I got to think of it. I got to hear it in my head.
So I was reading this thing, and apparently there's a cancel page, right, for Spotify.
Yeah.
And so they had 100, I guess, when that little clip came out of him saying the N-word multiple times, like they put it together over the years.
Yeah.
So over 120,000 people went to the cancellation page. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't even know if they actually canceled. It's just this page that people went to. But here's the kicker. Spotify has over 180 million subscribers.
Yeah.
So 120,000 people. It ain't that much. I'm sorry. It's.
Well, if you think about it, like there's 350 million Americans, only 900,000 died of COVID. It's not that much.
Yeah, it's not that much. I mean, it's not enough for Spotify to go, we need to cancel Joe Rogan,
Because he had to put out that other apology. I think, okay, so it's one thing to take it out of context and understand, like, that's fine. And I was going with that until I saw the clip where he actually described going into a movie theater to see Planet of the Apes in the black neighborhood, him and his friends.
Okay.
They were going to see, and I think they were going to see the 68 version, the original version. So then he said, yeah. So then we go into this theater, and it was just like Planet of the Apes. We were the only white people in there. So he's calling black people apes, basically, which is like,
up,
So that was on that same compilation, the Ari,
that's a Roseanne Barr moment right there, man.
But what's weird is like people are all only talking about that N-word, so they're not talking about that one particular clip, which I would think that would be the nail that in the coffin.
Because that's the inference that you're saying that these people are something that shouldn't be called,
And then Rogan's like, excuse, like, well, I wasn't trying to be racist.
But you were racist.
It's so funny when people say, I'm not a racist, but then they'll say something racist.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't mean to be racist, but let me tell you some racist facts. It's not my intention. It's just facts.
Yeah. So how old were you when you first heard the N-word, like the full word? And did you understand it when you were younger?
From grandma. Our grandma was racist as fuck, man. I mean, I don't know if she hated. Again, I think people confuse racism with prejudice.
But I mean, there was no hate in her heart for
No,
the
she
images.
didn't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the way
it's just
she
more
grew up, she used the N-word on a regular basis. She,
Yeah, and we have black cousins who are, our aunt, she married a black guy.
And my grandma loved them. She had them over all the time.
She would always call them the little colored kids. Like, yeah, the little colored kids are coming out here. So
her vocabulary just wasn't, that was back in the 80s. So, I mean, there was no.
And we would watch Archie Bunker, the Jeffersons, and they would use the N-word a lot, and one thing I remember, if you remember when I had that comic strip, and this was my first experience of really realizing that the N-word wasn't cool to say. And I used to draw little comic strips. I was inspired by Mad Magazine, so we watched the Jeffersons a lot. And so I did a little comic strip that was the Smurfs based on the Jeffersons, and I called them the Smiggers, and which is obviously a play on the word, the N-word.
Yeah.
And just kind of the twins that we used to hang out with, they'd laugh at it and this and that, and then our cousins came over and, Chrissy or whatever. No, it was actually Aunt Gail. She kind of read it. And
did they? Like, see, I don't remember that they actually saw it. I remember you.
That's when I got to talk. Like, that was, I guess I hurt their feelings and stuff. And that's when I realized, okay, because I wasn't really taught in school about like that being, and if I wasn't paying attention.
No, we were barely taught anything in school. We never fucking paid attention.
We missed a lot of school. And it's like, because when you watch it on TV and you hear George Jefferson, I'd even walk like George Jefferson. Grandma would be like, do the George Jefferson walk. And I'd walk like him,
I remember
she'd like, make me do it in front of the family, like it was so cute. But now if I were to do it these days, that's race appropriation.
Yeah.
But at the time when you're a kid, you
just want attention,
Yeah. So that was my first experience of realizing that the N-word was bad when I did that comic strip. And I always talk about that to people when the subject comes up. I say, well, here's my experience. And that's why I was wondering what your experience, obviously hearing grandma say it in the colored word. But did you feel it was a bad word? Like, because obviously even saying the N-word, it just feels uncomfortable saying it. And as a white person, I don't think I've ever grasped at that because I never really paid it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was like, it's just something that not to say or not to, because I can honestly say I've never said it to anybody. I've never said it to somebody's face or out loud. I have to admit, I've said the word before in my own private, like singing a song or something like that, but it was never in a racial context. At the same time, what black person hasn't said, you motherfucking cracker? Yeah.
I don't know if that's appropriate.
And obviously that's their slap back to us.
Yeah.
But what's bizarre about, cracker, you can say cracker and it doesn't feel weird, but something about the word, the N-word is just, it's just amazing that this one word is so polarizing, compared to fuck and shit and all the other cuss words that we were told not to say when you're kids. But that N-word, no matter who you are, where you're at, it just sounds, obviously unless you're black, and then black people can, and sometimes white people have to ask permission from black people. Like, is it okay? So, like when Leonardo DiCaprio had to ask permission from, what's his name, Samuel Jackson, if it's okay to say the N-word, even though Django Unchained, he had to ask permission, or he felt he had to. Anyway.
Yeah, that seems appropriate. It just seems like the right thing, especially when you're acting in front of somebody and you're kind of like, okay, we're going to be doing this, and you have to be realistic.
I truly believe that white people don't really have a say in what is how black people should feel is what is racist or what is not.
Well, at the same time, for the younger generation, I would imagine there's a lot of confusion because you grow up with NWA.
Yeah.
And all these rap artists that say it on a regular basis. And if you're just some kid who doesn't have parents, all you do is like us, like we grew up without parents, and you sit in your room and you listen to music. We were influenced by metal bands. Yeah. But imagine being influenced by hardcore rap bands that say the N-word. And then you're saying it because you're influenced by them, or you're talking with the affect. Yeah. I think they call it black scent,
which I've never heard before. Remember in the past, like if you said you sound black. If you were to talk to a black person and say, "Hey, you sound like a black guy. You don't sound like a white." Well, and then they always say like, "Well, what does black people sound like? We don't have a certain thing." Yeah. But now, if you kind of talk with a certain slang or a certain affect in your voice, all of a sudden that's considered black scent and it's wrong. Yeah. Like, just like as if blackface is wrong,
I think again, it's not for me to say, but I have the feeling if I go to Europe and I go to England, I'm going to start talking like a fucking British person after 2 weeks. But you know what I mean? Like and if you continue to be around that type of speech pattern, then you will pick it up and you will kind of start to mimic it and talk. It's only natural.
And I've always talked the same way. I think I have a really lax way of talking, but I've always, even just not too long ago, I had a client that I was talking on the phone. When they saw me in person, they said, I thought you were going to be black. You sounded black on the phone.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, I get that sometimes. And so I'm wondering, like, so is there a black scent, or do black people just have a more relaxed way of talking? The way I talk, it's just more, it's just chill. I'm just very chill.
It's individual. And again, as we're discussing this, what people have to remember is this is obviously a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
You can discuss this, and I hope we're doing it in a respectful way. And if we're not, somebody's going to yell at us and tell us. But just because we talk about it, it doesn't mean we hate, or somebody should hate a person for the color of their skin. And I think that's what's the most important thing to remember is if you discuss something openly, because I've had tons of black friends, and we talk, and obviously if you have a black friend, you're going to end up talking about race at some point. It's inevitable. White and black, you're going to talk about race.
We're not racist. We got 3 black cousins.
Yeah. And every black person I've talked to, they've always been cool to me, always been nice. But the only thing they care about, it seemed, I mean, this was like 10, 15 years ago. I don't have any friends in the last 10 or 15 years, to be fair.
Yeah.
But when I did hang out with people and I was friends with people, the only thing they cared about was not being called the N-word on the way home from the grocery store. They didn't care about all this appropriation bullshit.
Yeah.
They didn't. Every time I talked to them about it, they said, I don't give a shit about that. I don't care what white people do or say or whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to not be hated,
Yeah.
go into the supermarket and be able to go home without being afraid for my life.
Yeah.
That's all. So just don't hate me, but I feel that people make a big
deal.
deal.
Call the cops on me for no reason.
Yeah. And I get that. And, all the other stuff in between is irrelevant.
There's all these Karens too that kind of amplified shit like that, but with their whole like calling the police on black people, basically weaponizing the police because they know like if the police show up and that guy's unarmed or he's going to get shot.
Yeah, that's fucked up right there. That's
yeah. So I think that's what kind of, I guess you want to say woke. I guess you could say woke a lot of people up to.
I think there's 2 sides to the white ladies. There's the side like that use it as a weapon against black people, and then there's the other side of the white people that get more offended than black people do and make a bigger deal. Like, in other words, like somebody says something that's somewhat inappropriate, probably not the greatest thing, and you're probably feeling uncomfortable. They're like, okay, that wasn't cool, but whatever. I'm going to live with it. I'm going to move on with my life. And then this other white person says, no, you need to be canceled. You need to be this. And you need, and they take it to the whole nother level when everyone was like, it's not that big of a deal, dude. Just fucking calm down.
Yeah.
And, white people kind of take it more because they want to feel like they're fighting for a cause, or they want to feel like they're the woke ones, or.
All I know is I'm not racist, man. I got rid of my Aunt Mama syrup, so I'm not racist.
Okay. That's a first step, Eric.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people say I'm not racist, they'll say something racist in the same sentence.
Yeah, it's a sensitive subject, and it's a tough one, and especially 2 white guys talking about it. We're probably not the best judge of character to be, but we have experience. Like you said, we have black cousins. Our grandmother she used to say racist. She wasn't racist, but she used to say racist remarks all the time, like as if it was. But she grew up in Oklahoma.
Yeah, most old people in that, like I said, when Oprah said that one thing, like they just all need to die off. What she was talking about was the old generation of white racists. And people were saying, "Oh, she's saying people need to die, or the old people need to die." No, she was saying that mentality, the people that are still on this planet,
the people that don't know any better,
Yeah, that are just, the Archie Bunkers of the world.
Because 20 years ago, there was a certain amount of people that no matter how much you try, and that's probably the same way today, is that there's a certain amount of people that you try to explain to them what is and isn't appropriate.
Yeah.
And they go, what the fuck are you talking about? I've been talking like this my whole life. Fuck you,
Yeah. Maybe we need to have a token black person on the show to enlighten. So if you're out there and you want to be on, please contact us.
So we don't seem so racist.
Yes.
Your job is to make us look like we're using you to make us look less racist.
Let me call our cousin. She'll come on.
Yeah, that's some fucking racist shit right there, man.
All for entertainment, people. We love everyone.
So, that's the other thing too, is I hear about this. Okay, so obviously people talk about the race from the white perspective onto black people. But there was a while back where Asian people were being attacked all the time, right? And they were saying, it's racist, it's blah, blah, blah. And we're thinking every time they showed the clip, it was a black person who was hitting an Asian person, like when they were attacking him in the streets. And I was thinking, why aren't they bringing that up? Why do black people hate Asian people so much? You know, and even Dave Chappelle brought it up in his last special because his wife is Asian. He was like, the brothers need to stop
hating on the Asians.
Hating on the Asians. And then I come across this article about Aquafina.
Oh, yeah.
She was accused of cultural appropriation because of her black accent. And she has, you know, a way of talking.
I thought that was considered a hip hop way of talking. Like, that's what I was saying about the whole, like, well, what did black people sound like when you mentioned that somebody sounds black? Well, what do they sound like? What do we sound like? You know, black people say that. She's basically doing no different than what Eminem has been doing for the years. And Eminem, all the white rappers that talk with that, yo, what's up? You know, hey, this and that.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, that was always supposed to be like a cultural hip hop type
If that's the way she grew up, then what's wrong with it? But if she speaks like that when she's on TV and then all of a sudden behind closed doors, she's like, yes, and I think 2 + 2 is 4. And and then all of a sudden she's talking in perfect vernacular English, then you go, wait a minute, it's an act and it's, that's fucked up. But apparently then I was thinking, well, what if that's why black people aren't very friend of Asian people right now, is because of the black scent. Because listen, if you look back at, there's plenty of instances of this with the Asian community, especially in Korea, the K-pop bands, all their music, they speak Korean, but then the N-word is almost every other sentence in their music. You know how they mix English and Korean. And I'm a big K-pop fan, and I would always hear them and say, wait, did he just say the N-word? That seems weird. And and they dress hip hop, and they're very much into dressing in that style. And I guess black people be like, what the fuck are you trying to copy me for? And that's why they're hitting them. So I don't know. I'm just making shit up.
Well, yeah. I mean, even the other day, these little kids that got off the bus, they were talking to each other. Yeah, what's up? They're using the N-word, like, and a couple of them were Hispanic, one was Asian. They were like, but they sound like they were just talking like hip hop, like that's their culture, the music that they're into, and the music that they listen to. Yeah,
I mean, like I said, if we lived in London, we'd be talking with a London accent. If we were hanging out in
Mississippi, you'd have a Southern accent.
You adapt around, so I don't think that is a cause to call somebody out for racism.
Yeah, like I don't know why Aquafina would have to. Is she apologizing for it? I can't remember. Like, and a lot of it, she was playing a part, wasn't she? Like in the.
Well, she wrote the part. She was everything. It's her show, so which is a great show. I love that show. It's a very funny show.
What show is it again?
Aquafina, something from Queens.
I know her from the Crazy Rich Asians movie. Like, and I've seen her in interviews. And I can't remember in interviews if she talks like that. I think.
Yeah, I can't remember either. I just know her from the show, and
Yeah, she's got a very upbeat personality, really cool.
And but she apologized on Twitter, and then she deleted her account. Like she said, I don't know if she apologized directly, but she said something. She made a statement, and then immediately after she deleted her Twitter, it's like, because you feel fucked up. You're like, listen, I'm just trying to do my thing, and I'm sure she didn't mean any disrespect. I mean, I don't know what the fuck's going on in her head.
Well, I want to apologize to the TikTok Karen about what we said about vaccines, and
she told you to apologize. She told me to if I didn't apologize.
Yes, all that shit. Like, say sorry. Say yours.
You're going down, and
damn,
I didn't apologize. So fuck her.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, what am I supposed to apologize for? What the?
Yeah, sorry for having an opinion. Apologize for.
So if anything's going to get us canceled, it's going to be that last conversation. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope I hope we were respectful, because sometimes we're fucking 2 white guys. We don't know shit.
We're open to learn, and that's why we have to talk about this kind of stuff, because we're just in the dark as anybody else, and we know what we know, like what Beetlejuice says. I know what I know.
And I think that's part of the problem is people want honesty, right? Like they say, oh, you need to be honest. Yeah. But then when you're honest and you really tell what's in your heart or how you feel, people put you down for it, and they shit all over you. And it's like, well, I'm trying to be honest so I can learn.
Yeah.
But if I am honest, I'm going to get shit on. So I'm going to lie. And then when you lie, you get caught in the lie because you said something stupid earlier.
Yeah.
And then, and then it snowballs from there. So it's like, what do you do?
And that's why with the Joe Rogan thing, a lot of people are saying, oh, because he's ignorant, we should cancel him. I don't believe he should be canceled either. He's just being ignorant and this and that. But I think his statement about the theater kind of should be ignorance shouldn't be an excuse for that statement about the black people.
No. I mean, he should be held accountable. I mean, I don't know how you do that other than losing listeners, or I don't know. I don't think people should be canceled unless you're fucking, what's that one nut job? Hey, yeah, this is Alex Jones. Yeah.
Alex Jones,
Unless you're Alex Jones and you're telling complete fucking lies.
Yeah.
And you're just fucking off the rails. That's the only time you should be canceled. But
even him, I don't think he should be canceled, because I think like anyone who listens and believes his stuff. But then again, the people who listen and believe his stuff are pretty crazy, and they're the ones that's going to go out and shoot somebody. Or
if you're sensationalizing that and letting it, like I said, it's like we talked about before. If half the people you talk to are saying it's okay to say what you're saying,
yeah,
you believe it's okay because there aren't enough people calling you out. You know, like I said, 20 years ago, if you said something stupid, everybody would call you out on it. Maybe one or two crazy friends would be like, yeah, dude, that's right. Yeah, fuck them. Most people would go, no, that's wrong. You shouldn't say that. And then you would go, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't say that. But nowadays, when you say shit, half the people or all the people you actually know agree with you. And you're like, yeah, well, if they agree with me, then I'm right.
Yeah,
I can say it. It's okay. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what he's endorsing. But then again, all you can ask is that he gets better. And that's what he said. He said, I'm going to get better and I'm going to try. Whether he does it or not, maybe he's kissing ass. He's like, he could be lying through his teeth. I don't fucking know.
He'll get canceled before that happens. I don't really listen to him a whole lot anyway. Like I said, I watch his clips on YouTube every now and then, but I can't sit there and listen to a full 4-hour show.
No, I've never, even when he's had like somebody interesting on, I mean, I'd rather listen to Howard Stern any day of the week over him.
I listen to Howard and Eddie Trunk. I've been getting into Eddie Trunk a lot lately just because of the music.
Oh yeah, the music guy. Yeah, the metal.
Yeah, but he makes a lot of good points about shit too when stuff pisses him off. It's really good.
And then apparently Russell Brand is like the fucking guru of smart things to say lately. Everyone's been talking about him.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good. I sometimes use his some of his videos about addiction. I use them in my classes for alcohol and drug therapy for my clients, and because he does make a lot of good points about certain things. But.
Well, listen, on the topic of spreading false news, there's this theory, right, that I read about. And it's just a theory. I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't know. Is it a theory or conspiracy theory, conspiracy fact?
I don't know, but I'm going to spread it. So let's see what happens. But okay. So obviously, you know about Elon Musk and Tesla, right?
Yeah.
So with Tesla, if you've noticed, there's only been a certain number of crashes every year, like, fatal crashes. So what if I told you that those crashes weren't accidents at all, that they were actually done on purpose?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, with Elon Musk, he believes so wholeheartedly in his artificial intelligence system. He knows how scary it is. We already know his stance on that. But what people don't know is that the AI is so sophisticated and so scary that if he wanted to, there would be no accidents at all. There would be no mishaps at all. But in order for people not to be suspicious, every year he's allowed a certain amount of accidents to create. So there's this theory in one of the gigafactories that he has the ability to control each and every Tesla on the planet. With the flip of a switch, he can basically know every Tesla, where they're at, what they're doing.
Yeah.
And every year he's allowed a certain amount of crashes to make it look like it's an accident, to make it look like, oh, well, our technology is flawed. Our technology isn't exactly what it's supposed to be. So people don't really catch on that it's as sophisticated as it is.
Hey, that doesn't sound far-fetched to me. Like, he controls it. It's almost when you talk about AI, I saw that movie Moonfall over the weekend, and it's kind of about that. Like this AI takes over the moon and going to crash the moon to Earth, but it talks about it goes into this whole origin story about where AI was created way back from our ancestors, which were aliens, and there's all kind. But what you were saying about Elon Musk kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah, but just imagine like you're in control of everyone driving a Tesla. So the biggest dick driving a Tesla, you better watch out. You may be the one to have your steering slip up, or you're going to go through a truck because he's like, dude, this dude's a dick. Bunk. I'm going to hit this button right here and your fucking ass is going to blow up,
Yeah.
And nobody knows, because if you do too many crashes in a year, then you get bad publicity.
Yeah.
But if you do just the right amount, people aren't suspicious.
Now, can you get a DUI in a Tesla? Because I kind of like if you just sitting there, you're drunk, but the car's driving you home, you just sit there going, ah.
I think people have made jokes about that. I'm not sure.
They actually put me out of business, man. Most of my clients are DUI.
You need to get rid of Tesla. That's why we're spreading this rumor, is to get rid of Tesla, so you don't lose your job. But who knows, man? Like, the technology is there. Elon Musk is a fucking, like I said, he could probably control all that shit in a secret lab. He's sitting there. All he's got to do is figure out what the best place is and who.
Yeah, he's crashing it. He crashing a SpaceX into the moon or something. There's a.
Well, one of his rockets didn't come back down to orbit or something like that. So I think that's happening in a week or so. But it's the news kind of came out around the same time that the Moonfall movie came out. They're like, oh, that seems kind of coincidental about the moon crashing into the Earth. All I know though is that everyone I've ever seen drive a Tesla has always been a dick. I don't know why. They're always been a dick. That's just my opinion. That's just my experience. They're always cutting me off. The computer's not driving that fucking car. They're driving that car and they're being a dick about it. So
I even seen Tommy Lee's dick driving a Tesla from the TV series.
Should we do the boat? No, we're gonna do a Tesla. It's easier.
Yeah,
Put your dick up there, Tommy. We're going to go from Tesla, which is annoying, to the second most annoying thing is fucking truckers. Truckers, fucking annoying as shit on the road. When you're driving on the freeway, the most annoying thing are fucking semi trucks getting in the fast lane and fucking cutting you off and going really slow and pissing you off. That I know. But apparently there's that trucker convoy in Canada.
What's going on with that?
What are they called? The fucking A masters? Hey.
Yeah. Do they have a name for themselves? I hear there's like no leader. That's why they're having trouble with them negotiating to get it to stop. But my theory is that, especially over the weekend, they say by Monday they might have to forcefully remove people from that bridge. I think that's going to spark the civil war that everyone's talking about. It's brewing up. It's been brewing for the past few years.
You think so? I don't know. I mean, if they already attacked the Capitol and nothing happened from that.
Yeah, but if they're gonna use the military to take these people out from the bridge, I don't know.
That's on Canada, man. But
it's affecting America too, because we can't. There's no trade going back and forth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
that bridge I think that bridge is like one of the most important ports, and that's why they're blocking it to keep things from going back and forth. And
what the fuck are we going to miss out on? Syrup?
Yeah, probably.
What the fuck do we need from Canada so bad? They're going to need our shit, but I don't think they got too many things we need. I think we'll survive without Canada's shit, but who knows?
I got their Canadian geese in my front yard, but come and get those suckers. They keep trying to bite me every time I walk by.
But that's when you know the state of the world is in total disarray and shit, is when Canada starts revolting. Because Canada is like the most peaceful fucking country on the planet. You know, they never do anything. They're always nice and polite and peaceful. So for them to fucking rise up.
From what I hear, it was all about they want to get rid of the mask mandates, vaccine mandates, and now it's about just all mandates. They want to get rid of all mandates. Where it's like, because the thing is, we're already starting to lift a bunch of mandates.
Yeah.
Like our masks are going to be lifted the next month, and and already a lot of people are already like not even going by the mandate. You go in the store, people are going in there without masks. And
it's like they're a day late and $1 short. They're like, we're going to fight the mandate. Oh, it ended yesterday? Fuck.
Yeah,
okay. What about the vaccine? Oh, you don't need. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, what about blue shirts?
Yeah, and we got people like Tommy Loren. I've been, keep goofing on her on Twitter. I've been tweeting to her, Tommy Loren, that one blonde chick or whatever, Candace Owens, those, total right-wing extremists or whatever. They're totally in support of these truckers. And I'm thinking, if this was BLM protesters, they wouldn't even be having it. You know what I mean?
It's just, listen, I'm sorry. And I know there are a lot of people out there that take this stuff very seriously. I, for one, don't. I don't give a shit on either side. But unfortunately, you're being played. I'm sorry, but all you people that believe in this shit so fucking passionately that you're willing to die for it, you're being played by the very system that you're railing against, that you're saying, oh, there's Big Brother and all this shit. They're controlling you, and you think you're going against them by doing this, but really you're doing exactly what they want.
Yeah.
You're doing exactly what the government wants you to do, is create this chaos so they can get away with whatever bullshit they're doing.
Exactly.
And you're falling for it. Everybody's falling for it. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
If you think your vaccine has a microchip, you need to check your phone. That's the microchip.
Yeah. Then I got 3 microchips in me and I'm doing okay.
Yeah, same here, right? I got the pneumonia shot, I got the flu shot, and 3 COVID shots. So
I'm being overtaken. What did you say, Eric? Please. I am for.
I can't save you. I'm miles away.
I am for Biden. Go, Brandon. Yeah. Yes. Go, Brandon. Go.
Go, Brandon.
Did you see that somebody actually called in during, like, was it Thanksgiving or something like that?
Yeah. And even like set it back or something like that.
Yeah. He's like, all right, Brandon, right on.
Yeah. So basically say, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. But I still don't understand that. Why does everybody want to fuck Joe Biden? It doesn't, like, the vernacular doesn't make, the English doesn't make any sense. Go Brandon means go fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah,
Like,
I forgot how it originated. Something to do with like race car driver or something that Brandon, something that it was at a racetrack that the guys called it out. It just became like a catch on for all the shit. Yeah, even saw that on your TikTok, Karen.
call me call me Brandon. I'm like, yeah.
When I saw that, that's like, oh, QAnon. Yep.
Like, listen, I believe in, here's the thing. I'm going to say it outright. I believe in people's rights. I believe in your rights. I believe in their stupid rights. I believe in everyone has the right to talk and speak, but you should also treat everybody the same way. I am more liberal because I believe in gay marriage. I'm more liberal because I believe people should have rights. I'm not conservative because I don't believe in hate on other people based on the color of their skin.
And banning books, man. They're all banning that Mouse book, that about the World War II, the graphic novel. I mean, I learned more about World War II in that book than I did in high school.
I didn't even know about that. Yeah.
The Art Spiegel, I guess they're wanting to ban them in different schools. That book's been around forever.
Why are they just wanting to ban stuff?
Yeah, it's just, it's about the mice that are, what's all about what it was with the artist and the writer of it. He took all of his father's World War II letters and he made it into a graphic novel, but all the characters are mice. And then the Nazis are pigs,
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like, what's that? Animal Farm, right?
Yeah,
that book.
Yeah. But it's very good. It's really good. It's like I almost like teared up in certain parts of the story, like reading it in the library back when I used to get drunk in the library.
But if it's based on true events, why ban it? Like
yeah, that's where that's the whole dispute is. Like,
it doesn't make it like let people make their own fucking interpretation and learn. That's the only way. You can't ban or hide stuff, whether it's good or bad.
That's what I don't get about them. They're all about freedom of speech and this and that, but yet they want to like get rid of. They want to find now they got that restriction against teaching critical race theory in schools. They want to control. Right?
Yeah. And not a damn person knows what critical race theory. They don't even know what it means. Those people that are, it's just because they were told to be against it. And again, I'm not right. I'm not left. I'm not center. I'm not anything, man. I just call shit out for what it is. And I try to do what I think is right. That's all.
Same here.
Just because I don't agree with your fucking opinion.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. And you don't have to hate me. It's an opinion. It's a fact or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't have to agree with you and you don't have to agree with me. And just because of that, we don't have to hate each other.
Yeah. And I hate being like, oh, you don't like Trump, so you must be for Biden. It's like, well, I don't care about Biden either. Like if the next guy that runs and he's Republican and he's actually better than Biden, I'll vote for him too. It's like, but it just so happens that most Republicans I don't really agree with a lot of their stuff that they, like with the banning of books. And I
mean, that's what I mean. They have this religious overtones to their party that make it very hard to be on board. But like there are other policies about like business and, some stuff that I do agree with. But, again, I'm going to do it on a case by case basis. I'm independent.
Because there's a lot of liberals and Democrats. I don't agree with a bunch of stuff today.
No, they're fucking whiny ass bitch babies that fucking whine about every little thing that they don't agree with either.
They're responsible for their cancel culture bullshit. Most of it anyway.
And we're all going to blame CNN.
Yes. The most trusted news source. CNN would never lie to you.
So apparently, though, that convoy.
Yeah. So
they're supposed to be going to the Super Bowl this weekend. That's what I heard, that they're supposed to do something similar to that. I'm sorry, but a lot of these people don't understand how LA works.
Yeah.
And you try to pull that shit with a bunch of gangbangers and fucking LA Hollywood people, they're not going to put up with that shit, man. They'll fucking push your car, your truck out of the way, man. I don't know. That's asking for a fight.
Especially if they take the East LA route.
Yeah. If you're going to do it around the Super Bowl, where's it at? That's basically in Inglewood, right?
Yeah, it's like a Crenshaw, Martin Luther King Boulevard, that whole area. I've been down there.
Oh, yeah. I had a girlfriend down in Hawthorne. And I used to go down there all the time, man. They don't put up with no shit down there. So, and that was like 30 years ago. So
I hung out with a couple of Crips drinking with them, and we were going to go to the studio, and I was going to lay down some guitar for their rap, but we never got to the studio because they started shooting their gun in the air and acting all stupid. And I'm terrified. I'm like, I got to go. I was like, got on the bus and went home, but it was fun drinking with them. But until they broke up those guns and started shooting them in the air.
Yeah, they're hardcore down there, man. They don't mess around. But yeah, I mean, I could just imagine they try, like, again, Canada, it's a different story because Canadians are very polite. But you do that shit in LA and people trying to get home, traffic there is crazy to begin with. You block up people's traffic to get home, it's going to be an all-out war right there, with the citizens.
Looks like, I think there's like 3 parts of the border that they're blocking. I know Alberta is one of them where, my girlfriend's at, and one of the something crossings, whatever that border is called, but they're blocking that. But they're blocking that main one. I guess it's supposed to be that's really important for importing from U.S. to Canada.
So if they come to L.A., are they going to try to block, like, what are they blocking in L.A.? Like the ports or something? Like,
well, what I'm wondering is, like, are they coming from Canada, or maybe there's a whole bunch of new U.S. truckers that are joining it, and it's going to, like I said, that's what I'm kind of thinking, is this going to lead to some crazy civil war if they start bringing in the military to take care of these people? And because, they can't really get on them for protesting, but if they're starting to do things that's causing harm to people or the system,
or blocking the roadways, then, I mean, come on.
Then they can't be, they don't have that right. They lose the right to protest just like rioters, just like, though people say, well, what about the George Floyd riot? It's like, well, yeah, if they can protest, but once they start breaking windows, setting things on fire, then they lose their right to protest.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of those are just, it's as simple as that. The Donald Trump January 6th, they can go out there and protest that the election was stolen, but once they start breaking into the Capitol, beating on cops with flagpoles, then you lose your right to protest.
And that's common sense, that's
common sense. But apparently that doesn't work these days.
No.
You're either right or you're left, no matter what.
Either way, they're making plenty of content for us to make fun of them. And that's what's most important, is that we have somebody to make fun of.
Yes, we're going to get rich off you guys' idiocy.
You're going to make us comedy legends.
Yeah. Just hit those likes, hit those follows, all that shit.
Yeah.
That Papa need a brand new car.
All right. So I want to thank everybody for listening to us again. This is our second show. We're going to have a third one next week. We're going to try to put these out every Tuesday. That's the goal.
We hope to piss some of you off some more and, get those likes. And
if you like us or you hate us, share us with your friends.
Yeah, we won't be offended.
Why not? Yeah.
We'll be more offended if you like us more than you hate us.
But if you want to check us out on TikTok, we're under Gen X Bros, BROS. If you're under Instagram, Gen X Bros. And we are the Gen X Brothers, Glenn and Eric.
Bye-bye, everybody.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Woohoo!